Experts say the nation's GPS navigation system is at risk of being jammed or spoofed, and there's no backup in place.
But an I-team investigation reveals that a viable backup system operating right here in southern Nevada was killed by government bean counters.
Yeah, the I-team's Glenn Meek first told us about a radio navigation station near Searchlight, the LORAN station, that was shut down and later vandalized. And Glenn, the decision to close the station, like others, now being seriously questioned.
Absolutely. Our story about the vandalism at the shuttered LORAN navigation site generated tips from ham radio operators about a bigger story. It's the story of how that Searchlight LORAN station was part of a radio navigation network that could have served as an important safety net should our orbiting satellite system fail. But instead, the LORAN system was shut down against the advice of top scientists.
All of this has been stripped.
Earlier this month, we showed you how a closed Coast Guard navigation station near Searchlight had been vandalized and government property looted.
The President of the United States and the Commandant of the Coast Guard agreed that the LORAN system was no longer required for navigation as a result of technological advances in the last 20 years.
The Searchlight station was one of 24 scattered around the country as part of a radio navigation system called LORAN.
Call for the Alaska chain has been secured.
The LORAN stations were shut down in 2010, and though a Coast Guard contractor did remove valuable equipment from the Searchlight station, thieves also stripped much of the machinery left behind.
There was obviously a lot of valuable equipment there, and it's too bad that it could not have been secured better.
Dana Goward was the Coast Guard official given the duty of dismantling the LORAN stations. Now he's part of a private group trying to work with the government to restore the LORAN network with an enhanced version called eLORAN. eLORAN is considered the most efficient method of backing up the nation's GPS system, which is easy prey to jamming and spoofing.
Our national dependence on GPS grows by the day, and without an alternative, if something unfortunate were to happen to it, we would be in serious trouble.
Serious trouble because GPS is used in much more than just navigation systems. Timing signals from the satellites are also used to regulate everything from traffic lights to power grids and cell phone towers.
Iran claims it has captured one of America's most sophisticated spy planes.
In a real-world example, Iran claims it used GPS spoofing a few years back to trick a U.S. drone into landing intact at one of its airfields. GPS is vulnerable because it's a weak, high-frequency signal from space. But LORAN is a powerful low-frequency signal based on Earth, and it's nearly impossible to jam. Thus, LORAN makes an ideal complement and backup to GPS. So, if you're wondering why the government pulled the plug on LORAN after spending $160 million to upgrade it, you're not alone.
And I want to start really quick with the eLORAN system. Why did they stop it?
My understanding was that it was a budget issue, and I would offer it's time to reconsider that decision quite seriously.
Though some of the LORAN infrastructure has been demolished and would have to be rebuilt, Congress enacted a law to prevent any further dismantling of the assets. They also ordered the Department of Homeland Security to study the issue.
So they did a study, and now they're going to do more studies, and that's the circle loop, the endless loop of stupidity that we have in Congress.
Under the proposal to bring the LORAN system back, the now trashed Searchlight site could gain new life as an eLORAN station, but it would be an automated station and look very different. Now, we've asked Congressman Joe Heck's office to look into what's happening with the Searchlight LORAN site because it's in his district, and his office has contacted the Coast Guard and is awaiting a response. Among the issues, whether the valuable property at the site was properly salvaged before closure, what will eventually become of the site, and whether the administration's decision to shut down the LORAN system was premature. But it is beginning to look like some upgraded version of this old school technology used down at Searchlight will have to be brought back as a backup system to GPS.
How about that?
Great tip from those ham radio operators. Great
I'm glad
people.
they're watching.
They are
yes,
great
they
people.
are. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.